Back with the Civic again, so I decided to start working on the headlights. So this is what the brand new headlights had done after being left outside 9 months-ish. Finish just completely delaminated. Hopefully y'all can see all that texture and cracking, and it's just awful. It's all over these headlights. I decided I'd go ahead and strip this old coating out and rebuff them out and then clear them. And I sanded these guys down with 400 because when I clear everything, I think I'm going to shoot those with the same paint that's on the body. I've got it in a can from Dupli-Color. Clear them when I clear the headlights. Getting through that clear that was on there that was checking out, oh my word, it took 320 with the drill over there using these little sanding discs. I've already killed one, and still trying to get in these little nooks and crannies was awful. That's where I am right now. That's what 320 did. And you think you've got it, suddenly it's back. All the checking is back. It's like this stuff is horrible to get off. It doesn't sand off like anything normal. So I'm not quite sure what type of coating it is, but dude, I wish it would last longer. I don't know why they can't make these headlights in glass, but I'm going to start working on this guy. Just get it all stripped. Then using the higher grits to buff it out does not take that much effort. But this is ungodly. And that's the, whoever made them, Theberg, definitely didn't hold up. Wish me luck. So this is basically what I'm doing. Everything all at once. There, you see how it's this weird, this is where the clear still is, and this is where it's starting to come off. It's nasty to remove that stuff. But yeah, I'm having to use the drill. There's no way I can do this by hand with any speed. I'm not sure if you can pick this up or not. Right here is this ghost where this clear still is. This is where it has come off, and this is where it still is. There. That super light is where it still is. So now that I've learned that on the other one, I'll just go till all that stuff scuffs off, and I will know that I am actually getting it off. But yeah, if you have to do this, that's a good indicator of where you're at. I know my finger is changing colors, but as you're sanding, that color change, you want it that darker color. It's the next day. I went from the 320 and then hand sanded a little bit with the with a really cheap 320 paper, and wet sanded that time to make sure all the swirls and everything else would come out, because I was really getting on it with that machine sander. I have now moved up to 600, so this is where we are. Everything is much smoother, much smoother. And I'm making sure that the lines will come out from one step to the other. I debated about going to 400, but seeing as how this hand sanding paper was so crappy, it was actually, didn't seem like a true 320. It seemed like a lighter grade. Still, be mindful, this is not OEM, this is a cheap aftermarket one, so I don't know how thick the lens actually is. Anyway, like I say, this is at 600. Here's a little water spray to show you that's where we are in the process. When it's wet, it gives you a better idea what it would look like if you decided to clear it at this point. That's where we are. I'm gonna move up to 800 and then 1,000. Hopefully these suckers will start looking better soon. I have a different kit. I think it's 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, and 7,000. I don't know how crazy I want to get with it. Oh, and a side note, this Dura-Gold that I'm using to sand, it seems like high quality stuff. I'm spraying a little bit of a mild soapy water solution on the pad as I'm sanding so that it doesn't clog up at these higher stages. And that seems to be working really well. I'm not burning through the pads like I was. Although before we were taking off clear, so there was a lot more to clog up. I am attempting to carefully introduce water for a smoother finish. I don't know if it looks like much, but we're at the P800 stage. I've just sanded with it, and it's going much quicker now at these higher grades. See, that's where we are with the soapy water. Looks much better stage by stage. I'm starting to be able to see everything inside. Granted, when I wipe it with the towel, it flashes off pretty quick. So that can help you check your work as well as you're going. It's getting super smooth again. All right, I completed the P1000 stage. Opted to not use them and do it all by hand instead. So that's where we are right now. You see how we're getting. So we're starting to see some decent progress. It just sucks you have to do so much before you start to see progress. I'm going on to the 2000 next, and I'm going to stick with the 3M, and I'm going to hand sand it. I'm not going to use the drill with the pad on it. Then I'll step into the, there we go, Lanhu. They had a pack of higher sandpaper with a lot of good ratings. I'm going to utilize their product and see how it does. Here we are back with the 2000 stage. I don't know if you can tell I changed the direction of the sanding lines since I'm hand sanding. I don't want to keep going this way and realize that I wasn't getting everything out from the previous sanding. Now there is sanding lines going this way because I have to keep tight to this, but I did everything this way to be sure that I removed all the sanding lines from the previous step, and then went back and did these edges that are hard to get to when you're sanding this way. Feeling super duper smooth now. Same as well on this light. Only issue I'm noticing is I'm still having some of that clear coat crackling that's reappearing. Even after all that sanding I did, it's quite frustrating when the stuff hasn't completely sloughed off. But what are you going to do, right? And here we'll start to see where it's wet. It's really starting to look like it's a headlight again. Same deal with this. I sanded this way and then finished out these edges going this way to be sure I had a full even sanding. So the next grit I had was actually 2500. I didn't realize the bag that was behind that had the Lanhu on it actually had 1500, 2000, and 2500. So I should have used the 1500 before the 2000, but it's fine. I still got there. Like I say, just sanding different directions to make sure that you get everything. I did notice at this stage I had a few remnants around in this area on this lens, probably because the sun is coming in and letting me see more than I normally would. So I had to go back to the 1000, then to the 2000, and then back to the 2500. I think the 800 grit had left a little bit in there. So as you notice things like that, as you're getting finer and finer, you may pick up an artifact that didn't get sanded out previously. It's fine to go back, sand that small area, and then work your way back up again to make sure that you get it all. You have done so much work, putting so much effort in, that why skip it and then have it pester you later. That's where we are, 2500. This ended up being 3000 grit as my next step, and I think I will do the 5000 just to see what it does. More curiosity than anything. This rag is relatively damp, so you can see how good it's coming out. Of course, it'll be even clearer with a clear coat. But again, that gives you an idea. All that from that cloudy mess we started with. Just finished up sanding with the 5000. I've still got these artifacts up in this corner. I know, I'm sure some of y'all are screaming because I didn't remove this guy. I tried to, and it was acting, it was legitimate 3M tape. So this stuff is like on here like nobody's business. And I was afraid it was either going to crack the lens itself or do so much damage to it, this piece, removing it, or sticking something under it, I'd mar everything up. So I just opted to leave it on there. I mean, it's pretty dang clear, you know, it's just got a slight haze to it. Water, water, soapy water. Yeah, see, you can see how nice that's going to be when it's done. All right. Okay. I used the Meguiar's Ultimate on this guy. Probably going to run another pass, but this is where we are right now. Looks pretty darn good. I definitely still see some lines in there. Again, this was more of an experiment using the products. I mean, it looks great, don't get me wrong, but from a perfectionist standpoint, these lights were massively damaged with that clear coat. Here's our before polishing. I figured it would be more dramatic, and then our after. It looks 1,000 times better. There's still a lot of little micro scratches in there, but I'm hoping that by clearing it, most of that'll dissipate. A lot of it was, I'm on a limited time schedule. Before the sun goes down, I got to drive this car tomorrow, so I've got to address this and get everything cleared tonight before it's dark. And it'll look a gazillion times better than the crusty, chippy stuff that I started with, so I'm happy with that. Touching in on the second light, I had done another pass on the other one, but I wanted to show you a partial as I was going through. I've only done this portion of the light, I haven't done this, so that gives you a real clear indication what that polish does. And again, there's kind of some goop left there, but coming out good. Okay, perfect. No, gazillion times better. Yes. Looks like I've got some fogging and stuff that's actually on the inside here. So whatever that's from. But we do have sun coming in at an oddball angle there on the side, highlighting that. So I don't think it'll be seen otherwise. But yeah, there we go. Clean everything up. And then clear them. And hopefully this will last longer. This go around. Much, much better. Much, much better. All right, taped up, ready to shoot the eyebrows. Making sure I don't get any overspray anyplace. Might have gone a bit extra, but you know, I just painted the wheel there. I didn't want to have a bunch of mess. I'm going to wipe these down one more time with alcohol and then get to spraying. Okay, got my black on. You see I've already unmasked this side so that I can go ahead and spray the clear on both. I'm using a lacquer base so that worst case I can go back over because it is a chemical bond versus a mechanical bond with scuffing. So hopefully it'll hold better on that headlight and then I'll be able to recoat it in the future with less drama. There you go. There's the other side unmasked and ready for the clear. I ended up using this lacquer based for the black, but that's how she looks right now. Much better than that faded black looking non-gloss plastic, that's for sure. So yay there. My spare ones I think I'll take to the mechanic and have him spray it when he's spraying the new bumper. That way it'll actually be OEM match, and I'll have the new headlights as well to be able to swap on whenever the mood strikes me. But, all right, let's do some clearing. Okay, I'm thoroughly freaking out. I just sprayed this with clear, and it's doing that. It is not hot, it is not cold. So I employed the hair dryer. It's helping, thank God. So if this happens to you, I don't know, maybe the humidity is a little wonky. Maybe it would clear out as it dries. I don't know, but dude. Okay. Crisis averted. Whew. My heart can slow down a little bit now. I am going to spray a little more over there. It's kind of dry sprayed. Hopefully I can slick this out and then use the hair dryer to clear it out. Okay. That seems to have worked. Sadly, I think I blew a hair in there. It's okay. I'll probably do a wet sand on it to bring out the clear slightly. Did notice that artifact, and there's an artifact, I don't know if y'all pick it up or not, around the light there. I believe, if y'all can make it out, I know I can, I just don't know if the camera can. I think that's the original clear that, despite my best efforts, I wasn't able to get it all off. Having a mild reaction. But these guys are coming out good. A little bit of a thing there. Just afraid to take it too far and mess up the lights. Anyway, that one came out much better, although you remember I had an issue with this one and I had to do more sanding. Maybe I was able to pull something out here. Surely y'all can see that. But, I mean, from here you can't. Even like that, I mean, you have to get up on it. And considering this is a Hail Mary to even save these headlights, I'd say we're doing good. I may throw one more clear on there. So apparently we're going to do it at 0.5. You can see that cloudiness coming out as I heat it. Now I'm not up on it heating it, I'm just from a distance. And it's a hair dryer, not a heat gun. I'm trying to stay off the black plastic, so maybe that will gloss out a little better. And again, it may have resolved itself the first time I turn on the headlights. Hard to say. There, you can see it. See my shadow. This right there. And it's down here as well. harder to see. And it's right in this area too. There it is. Right there. Okay. I'd say that's a darn sight better than what we started with. It's not checked, it's not yellow. I can live with this. It's not the perfect thing in the world, but I'd rather at least get some of my money's worth out of these headlights, considering I installed them on the car and got to drive the car like, yeah, maybe 2 oil changes, but I didn't have the headlights in that whole time. So I'm happy with that. I think the eyebrows came out good. Told you I was running this a lot later at night than I intended. Looks like I still got a mild dry spot right there. Well, shit. I'll be sanding and buffing apparently. But, yeah, and this side did it right there. Not sure. It's alright. It's a gazillion times better than it was. And I think y'all can see that artifact right there, and across here. There, you can pick it up. I can only assume that's the clear that didn't sand off. And I thought I had over sanded, so I kind of backed off thinking I had done too much. I can live with this. Yay. Now the car just needs to have everything completely dry. Oh yeah, see, that looks so much better than being all faded and ick. They look shinier than the rest of the car. So yay there. And yay my shiny wheel. But again, it'll need some cutting and buffing as well. But so much better than what it was. And it has tire on it, or tread I should say on the tire. Yeah, I got slag. But it's done. Hallelujah. So we're getting there. All right, you guys. Bye.